So, hey guys, so we were doing great live. I know it's been a long since we have done the previous live. So, today we'll be keeping it very simple, very short as well. Today we'll talk about different Gen Z roles that we have in Cognizant. Since there are a lot of questions coming up since the 2022 batches are coming in, and they have some questions on simulation test and what are the kind of roles and internships the CSD. The same thing that we talked about last year. So they have changed a couple of things. They have enhanced a few things, and they have revamped all their hiring process and so on, which is really great. I hope all the feedbacks worked a lot. And one thing that uh, is still bummer is people who got in last year and the year before that. So they don't have the opportunity like you guys or like 2022 batch for just coming in. Uh, we have to fight a little to kind of get into those roles as well. So that is one of the things that I want to share. But I think rest assured, it's been a pretty good journey for me. At Cognizant, working from home, it's been really great to see all the folks. Uh, but it is difficult to see them live, even though we are connected virtually. But it doesn't make it up for in person meetings and in person conversations. It is really difficult. So, so another thing that we would take up if you have any questions, or we would just jump back into what we have been doing so far, and what are the different roles. So, seeing a couple of people asking about Gen Z Next and Gen Z Pro and a normal Gen Z role. So we'll be telling detail about each and everything. We'll start with Gen Z. So it is pretty much the basic role. You will have probably an aptitude test and maybe a debugging coding test, and then you will have a technical interview and an HR. So those are the pretty much standard stuff that you would see in most of the normal Gen Z hiring. So when it comes to Gen Z Pro and Gen Z Next, you would have an additional coding assessment on HackerRank maybe or similar platform. You would have that. Then they would filter you according to your skill set, and then they might put you into different buckets. So that is how they have revamped this year to have separate groups of people who are like who already know coding or who are just beginners or from different streams maybe. So those are the separations that they have, but most probably this is how they split into different buckets. So you have the Gen Z and Gen Z Next, Gen Z Pro, and there is some other role as well. I'm not pretty sure about the name, but there is another role which the compensation differs from each of these roles. So I think the base it starts from 4 lakhs, but it all the way goes up to 6 or something. I'm not pretty sure on the numbers. I just got these numbers and the details from people who have been asking a lot of questions on LinkedIn regarding how things are going and how things are rolling out. Uh, Things have been pretty good actually. Uh, so subscriber, thanks a lot for subscribing. So another thing that we would touch upon is what it is the difference or why do you choose internship over CSB? Now we have been telling a lot about this thing. So you always take internship over CSD since you get a lot of interaction with people. You meet a lot of people. You get interact with your mentors or your coaches during internship, but you don't get that in the CSD. So you just do your self learning. But there are both pros and cons to internships and CSD. So internship, when you start with internship, you would have like a structured way of learning. This week you will have some challenges. Next week you will have different challenge. Those and so on and so forth. In CSD, you would have self-learning things, so you don't have a timeline that you have to complete. But you'll have a broader timeline. 3 months you have to complete all these courses, so you have a flexibility of completing it in 1 month and just doing something else in the 2 month. But in the internship, you don't get that. You have to complete some modules or some tests. You have to take it up uh, each and every step. Maybe a week or so, you will have a test, and then you will have a assessment on what are the modules that you have covered. So that would be a step-by-step process that you have to do to get to that. So that is mostly about the process that you will go through in internship. In CSD, it is fairly simple. You'll just be given some modules you have to complete in some particular time frame. So that is pretty much what you will exactly do at doing things right. But again, it depends on your situation and whether you want to, I don't know, just learn by yourself or be taught by someone. It is obviously depending on your skill set and what is your proficiency in coding as well. So if you're too proficient and you don't need someone to teach you, and you just need some time to revamp yourself, self teach, whatever languages that you can, or the frameworks that you want to use. If you can do that, that is really great. That is Symfony is one of the important things that you would have to develop if you haven't already. Uh, that is really necessary skill that you have to have when you move ahead in your career. Nobody's gonna push you you get into uh, after you get into Cognizant or any company that you would go in. Nobody's gonna push you further. You have to self teach yourself on different things, and then you will move into different career paths or different roles and levels. Those things depend on your self-learning capability and your self-teaching stuff to yourself, and being that way is pretty much you would go throughout your career after you get out of college, or at least after you get out of internship. That is how things move around. uh, when you're just out on yourself, you will be on yourself by yourself, so you have to give your time to yourself to learn and then have fun as well. So Cognizant has fun Fridays. We do have fun Fridays every Friday. So you could always participate in that and enjoy your weekend before you jump into your Saturdays and Sundays. So that is one of the things that Cognizant does better. We have been part of Fun Friday, and due to this virtual thing, from home, you won't feel that welcome when you attend those events online. But when you meet offline, it is a different story altogether. So I hope this helps you a lot. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comment. If you have any questions, just ping me on LinkedIn. I'll be very much happy to help you out.